Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Yeah, I thought I'd just intro my reading week vlog like a week early because I don't know, basically I feel really bad, but I basically was supposed to have a seminar this morning, but I was feeling really ill and exhausted and tired, so I didn't go. But I've woken up feeling better, which is good. So I think I'm gonna be able to go in for work. But the point is I've now got the morning to just do, I've got like an assignment I have to do. I've got an assignment that I desperately need to do. But basically I've got the house to myself, possibly? The kitchen to myself? Unclear. Anyway, and yeah. Oh my god, it's fucking freezing down here. I don't know, I just thought, I just chat to you guys. Honestly, I uploaded my video yesterday, my Valentine's video yesterday. Two things. One, my channel is so close to reaching 30,000 views. Crazy. And two, I'm really close to 200 subscribers, which is also kind of crazy. So yeah, today I'm just going to be going in for work later. But I'm going to lock in. What is everyone today? Tuesday. So yeah. So today is a Tuesday. My reading week is next week. I'm not leaving Bristol until halfway through reading week though, because me and my friend Yaz have got tickets to the Useless Hotline tour. So we're going to be going to that and then going home. So that's so exciting. Our tickets aren't together though. We got such last minute seats. They're like not together, which is annoying. But I'm so ready. I love George Clark and Max Belegze. I just think they're so funny. I think Max is so funny. And George, yeah, I think they're both hilarious. So I'm going to be so excited to see them. And then, shall I look at my calendar, guys, see what I'm doing? Oh yeah, I've got a bunch of like group projects on, so that's taking up a lot of time. And there's like a training session, and like this week, like there's lots of uni stuff on, like I'm having like movie nights and going out and stuff. So, next week, on the Monday is when one of my assignments is due. I've got the podcast live show, and then I'm going home. And then we're going to see Paddington the musical, which is going to be bussin'. And then I'm not doing anything for the rest of, and then I'm just hanging out with my parents, I think. And then I'm literally going to be home for 4 days, almost 5. Not that long, to be honest. Although, yeah. And then we're back for 3 weeks, and then it's Easter, which is crazy, actually. I don't know which bits I've told you guys, but I applied for this internship, and if I get it, it means that I'll have to take a year out of uni, and it's a dream. And they haven't gotten back. And all they've done is email me. I've got like 2 or 3 emails from them, like all before January, and I got one at the very start of January being like, don't worry, we haven't forgotten about you. And I was like, okay, what does that mean? And now I'm literally in limbo. Anyway, guys, I just thought I'd intro this video. Yeah, thank you so much for clicking on it. I love my channel, and yeah. Oh my god, it's John!
Wait, are we saying
and Natasha!
I heard you bloody from the corridor.
Me too!
That's kind of gross.
Hi!
Aww.
Hang on, leave my
Hey,
sock on.
vlog.
Hey vlog!
That's like perfect time.
Aww.
My recipe.
Yeah, your recipe was. Yeah.
Yeah. What happened there?
Where?
There. Whatchamacallit, saving things that children go on in a ship or something.
Review.
Where's also got?
She's bussin'.
Busting.
Oh my god. Dreaming about this whole week, guys.
Yeah, we're only
Did it live up to the
3 days late. I don't. It's actually focused on your eye really nice. Oh, no, it's not. I like how smooth it is. It makes me want to feel one of those stupid adverts that are like, boom, and then like go up really close on like that, you know what I mean? So the pros. Wow.
We might.
Today's looking like a really busy day, but mainly it's a content day for DVD Diaries. My podcast, I don't know if you know, but I have a podcast with my best friend. And yeah, and it's doing okay. It's doing okay. So today is the day of the BAFTAs. For the first time ever, we're doing like a non-podcast format video. Actually, we're going to do like a BAFTAs video, which we're going to film before, during, and after. So I'm very excited for that. Yesterday, we've been on the Oscars grind though. We've been watching all of the films that are nominated for like Best Picture. So today, I've got an essay that's due tomorrow. Uni comes first, unfortunately. And then we've got to watch Frankenstein. And then we're doing prep for the BAFTAs video and the podcast episode we're doing tomorrow. Then we're doing the BAFTAs video. And then tomorrow we're getting up and we are doing a podcast episode on directors. And then from like 1 to 5, we're going to the cinema and we're making Wuthering Goat happen. If you know, you know. If you know, you know. Very exciting stuff. I just thought I'd vlog behind the scenes of today of like what we do, because like it basically means that like 5 videos are going to be filmed at once, but yeah, because like the last few days have been kind of crazy, so my room is looking terrible. Real for a second, my room's looking really, really messy and awful, but I need to do my essay. I really shouldn't be cleaning my room. I'm a weirdo and I love tidying my room. It's like one of my favorite things, so like if I have the time to do it, obviously. Oh, and then hopefully I'll do my essay, and then hopefully I can submit within the next like 2 hours. So for those of you who don't know, I have a film podcast with my best friend Ash, and basically we pick a theme for each week and we watch like 1 or 2 films each depending on how much time we have, and we've done stuff like musicals, film like book adaptations, like animated films. And we also do directors' weeks, and this week is going to be a directors' week, and I'm doing Andrew Adamson, who directed Shrek and the Chronicles of Narnia, and Ash is doing, I don't know, the guy who directs Mads Mikkelsen, because we watched a Mads Mikkelsen film last night called oh god, I can't remember the name. It's a Danish film, which is why I can't remember. It's like the Riders of the, I want to say Riders of the Lost Ark, but no, that's not it. Riders of Justice. And my room is like the background, so this wall is the background for the podcast. And I got some new posters. So I've got this Fantastic Mr. Fox one. Also got this Narnia one, which is so cute. And then I've had these like Disney posters for ages. So like this one, Mulan, like all of the Disney ones that you can see are just from this book that I bought. I also bought this new Downton Abbey one, which I'm absolutely obsessed with. It's tricky because we have to balance the fact that it's my room, so obviously I want to have out like pictures of my family and friends, but also the fact that it's the background for our podcast, so it's like, yeah. So it's a mixture, but I love my wall. And also because I bought the Narnia, Fantastic Mr. Fox and Downton Abbey posters because I edit the podcast, for those who don't know, and I was kind of fed up of seeing a wall of like just posters that I had rather than things that I really loved. So anyway, I went out and bought some, which I'm so happy I did, because the podcast at the minute is basically me and Ash's sole focus, which is so unusual. Like, yes, I got this essay that I need to do, but it's pretty much done. And we've also ordered stickers for the podcast, which is coming on Tuesday, which is so cool. I'm gonna like put it on like my phone case and stuff, and it's gonna be bust. Also, guys, today is such a crazy day for sport. For those of you who also don't know, I'm also a sports journalist when I have the time. Arsenal kicking off at 1, playing Bristol City. I wish that they'd come to Bristol, because I would have gone to see them. That would have been amazing, because I live in Bristol. But no, they're playing at the Emirates, and I don't know how I'm going to be able to access this game because I don't have Sky Sports. I think I might have to invest, to be honest. But yeah, they're kicking off at 1, and then it's obviously Six Nations again. So busy. I don't know how I'm going to get it all done today. It's all a bit overwhelming, but I mean, we're just going to take it as, yeah, because I'm covering the WSL for Epigram, the paper that I write for. I've been commissioned on 2 articles. One of them's going to come out before the WSL final that happens at Ashton Gate, and then the other one will come out after. Hello, Mom.
There is one over there that you can touch.
What film are we about to watch, Ash? Frankenstein!
The time is 3:50. I finished my essay, I submitted my essay. Yay! And we're going to watch Frankenstein for the next 2.5 hours. Hey guys! If you can hear the air fryer, I'm sorry.
Hi guys, I'm back at home. Yeah, today's been just a travel day, to be honest. Yeah, oh my god, it's so weird to be back. It really doesn't take me that long to get home, like, so it was really weird. I feel like I went really quickly from door to door because obviously I'm traveling during the week, which nobody does. So it's not like, because I usually end up traveling on like a Sunday or a Friday, which is when everyone's traveling. But yeah, just a little update. Me and Ash have been in the trenches with DVD Diaries. We've been recording and editing and posting for literally 3 days. I don't know how, considering we haven't even posted that much, I feel. But everything's taken 10 million years, and we kept like staying up till like 1 a.m. doing it, and I don't know how that happened. We went to the cinema the day before to do Wuthering Goat, which is a stupid thing me and Ash made up ages ago, and then we've decided to make the new Barbenheimer and make Wuthering Goat happen. So we went to the cinema for like 7 hours because there was like, we had a break in the middle in between Wuthering Heights and Goat, which is Sony Animation's new release anyway. And during Wuthering Heights, I started getting really bad cramps, and I at the time I was stressed because I was like, frick, like I'm in the middle of the cinema, like whatever, you know. I think I took some painkillers going into the night because I was like, this is going to be like hard, like I sense this is going to be a difficult night. The night wasn't too bad, but then I woke up the next morning and literally the worst cramps of my life, people. So bad. I couldn't move. I could not move. It was genuinely dreadful. It was so bad. And then it was so annoying as well because it started to impact other like things. Like my digestion was like crazy, like just went insane, and I was very, very uncomfortable. And in a lot of pain, and it's never really been that bad before. So from like 9 to 1 or 2, I was in really, really excruciating pain, and Ash was just sitting next to me being like, you all right? And then when I got on my second dose of painkillers, it then like lessened, and then when the painkillers wore off, like they came back again. I don't know why painkillers didn't work the first time. But anyway, we still managed to do the filming and editing that we needed to do. And then last night I went to the Eustace Hotline live show. Max and George came to Bristol. But yeah, I'm back home now, and I haven't had any cramps since the day when we had to film everything. So that's good. And I, you know, obviously I still can't really figure out what I want this YouTube channel to be, which is stupid considering there's almost 200 of you, and I've had this channel for over a year. I still can't figure out whether I want it to be more professional or more just like what's going on with me. I think what's going on with me, because now that me and Ash have our podcast, that's the place where we can kind of be professional. Use the emerald fennel sized quotation marks there. That's where we can like voice our opinions about issues that kind of matter and talk about what we think is important and stuff. But I feel like this channel has always been a great place just to have some fun and just document my life, really, because my uni mates say to me all the time that they're grateful that I have this YouTube channel, so that, because it literally is a little online diary of our memories at uni. And I'm very grateful for that, and we do rewatch videos together sometimes, and usually in the depths of winter when we're desperate to go back to the coast again, which I'm feeling. But the last 2 days of the weather's been so nice. I'm staring out the window now because it's so nice, like the sun's just setting and I can hear the birds because I think the doors are open downstairs, and the sky's like a gorgeous hue of orange, and the sun was out, and we went on a little walk this afternoon because I'd spent all morning traveling, and we bumped into the family that I used to babysit for, and I got to see the dog that I used to like puppy sit, and it was really, really nice. It just makes me feel part of like such a
it's lovely to be part of multiple communities. Like, obviously, I've got a whole life in Bristol, and then I come home and I have a whole life here too. And these people like raised me, so it's always nice to come home. Although literally none of my friends are here. Yeah, they're all still at uni pretty much. So I might reach out to a couple of them and see if they're around. But I'm not really home for very long, so I don't really want to book myself up too much. I've spent all day trying to desperately figure out how the WSL works, the Women's Super League. Those of you who don't know, I'm a sports journalist in my spare time, which I usually don't have, but I make time. I am obsessed with women's sport, rugby and football specifically. I've published a bunch of articles for Epigram, which is the paper that I write for. As a sports journalist, I've never branched out into film criticism. I just like psychologically, I know that that's my output space for my sports interests. So I don't want to also start writing for film as well, because I have a podcast for that. I don't know why. I like to like separate out my life into different. I don't know why. I don't know. But yeah, I've published a bunch of times for Epigram, and I've been commissioned to do 2 new articles about the WSL because the final's happening at Ashton Gate, like it did last year. But at that point, I wasn't really interested in club level football. Like, obviously, I was a fan of the Lionesses, but I wasn't a proper fan, and I didn't watch club football, just because my family's not really a football family anyway. It's quite rogue for me to have this massive interest that I do. But anyway, the long story. If you really want the full story, I've got like 3 videos about like the Lionesses on my channel, so like just watch those. I'll link them down below. That was gross. But anyway, the point is I've been commissioned to do 2 new articles because obviously Epigram's student paper, it's Bristol's paper, so it has to have like a local angle. And obviously it's coming to Ashton Gate. So I saw they were coming to Ashton Gate and I was like, yes, I'm going to be able to like write about club level football for the first time. I've never covered club level football for Epigram. I've done the Lionesses and the Red Roses multiple times, but I've never done club level. So that's very exciting. But the thing is that I have tickets to the WSL final as well, which is the reason why I reached out to my editor and was like, can I cover it because I have tickets? But the final is between Man United and Chelsea, even though Man City's sitting at the top of the chart, like points-wise. So I was like, what the hell? But obviously, I actually, now think about it, I'm actually so stupid, because the other thing is that UEFA Champions League picks its teams from the WSL top. It's like the top 3 from the WSL go through. So Man City have qualified. I'm talking about women's football, by the way. Man City have qualified for the Champions League because they're 10 points ahead of. I think it's United is second at the minute, but United, Chelsea, and Arsenal are really, really close. But obviously only 3 are going through. But it's unclear as to who those 2 remaining spots is going to go to, because everyone plays everyone, so those points will keep changing until the last day of the season, which I think is the 15th of March. You can see how I'm easily confused. I'm explaining it and I'm lost. But after the group stages, so those games are going to continue, so everybody plays everyone, but as well as that, the people who have qualified from each group are going into the quarters, semis, and the final, which is for the League Cup, which is happening on the 15th of March. But those games, the quarterfinals, obviously are knockout stages. So points don't matter in what the outcome of the game is, but they do matter for the table, which then informs the Champions League, right? As to what those top 3 rankings are going to be. So that's why, because Man City got knocked out in the semis against Chelsea, I think. So now United and Chelsea are in the final, even though Man City is at the top of the league at the minute. Arsenal were knocked out by United, which would make sense, wouldn't it? Anyway, basically, I had at the start of today, I had no idea about how like the group tables worked, because I have like lots of interests basically, so I find myself struggling quite a lot of the time to split myself between them. I can't fully dive into knowing everything about everything when it comes to women's football because I don't have the time. I have to edit the podcast. I have to like do this podcast, which is taking up more and more time by the second. And also obviously I've got uni and like I've got a social life and whatever, you know, like I've got stuff to do. I don't have time to do it properly. And I kind of wish I did. You know, like I was just watching this podcast episode, which helped me figure out what on earth is going on. And they were talking about all of these, like how they watch every single match and, you know, different brands are taking them to different matches and they're seeing all of it in person and doing all this really cool stuff for women's football and women in sports journalism. And I can't decide everything comes down to I cannot decide whether I want to go into sports journalism or film. I can't decide for the life of me. And it's tricky because for both of them, I feel like they're quite... Sports journalism, I think, is more straightforward, just obviously because journalism has been around for longer. So I think that's easier. But then it's like, what kind of journalism do I want to do? Do I want to do, you know, normal articles like I have been doing for Epigram? Or do I want to do like sports media or, you know, because that could be a cool crossover. I think the dream would be to do like a sport documentary because then it's a crossover properly, but also my big interest in film is animation. So how the hell does that work? I'm just like spilling my guts to you guys now. But the other thing is that my number one worry at the minute is that basically I feel like I have told you guys this before, but I can't remember when. I have applied for an internship, which is the dream for me. If I get it, I will cry for like 2 weeks. I'm not kidding. And it's a huge opportunity, and I actually feel like I have a shot at it. If I get it, I'm gonna have to suspend my studies, and my friends will graduate without me, because I'll go off and do this internship and then come back to my studies. But the thing is that the deadline for this internship was December. I submitted my application in October, and they've been emailing me since saying, don't worry, we haven't forgotten about you kind of thing, but still not letting me know if I've progressed past the stages I've already progressed. So I've progressed through a couple of stages, but not letting me know if I have an interview yet. And basically my whole year is completely up in the air, because if I get this internship, it means that I'm gonna have to go into like a 9-to-5 job for a year, and that will start in June if I get it. So I won't have a summer kind of thing, and I still don't know. It's almost March, and I still don't know whether I've got it or not. And I've emailed them being like, can you tell me? And they've emailed me back being like, we will, don't worry, but we're not going to tell you right now. And I was like, okay, cool. Obviously I'd rather wait for the right decision than make it too quickly. But also there's a part of me that if I get it, I'm going to have to like completely uproot my life. I'll lose the life that I have at uni for a year. And people like Ash, who's my best mate at uni, will graduate without me. And if I get it, that means that these last 2 months are the last 2 months I'm going to be living with him, and the last 2 months that the podcast is going to be going for, even though we're putting in so much love and effort, and I think it will pay off eventually, but it feels like it's being cut off too soon, and it would mean that I don't have a summer and I can't do all these things, you know, because I'm going into my last 2 years of uni, which means these are my last 2 summers before I have to get a job and be an adult. And I want to savor those summers. But obviously, if I have to give up my summer and give up next year, kind of, that will be obviously worth it because it's the internship of dreams. But there are big upsides. Basically, there are big upsides and downsides to both. And I'm always thinking about, I feel really, it really weighs on me all the time because I have no idea what my future is going to look like. And I'm a person who likes to know things. I like to plan things. Like, I've already got tickets for a bunch of football games, but I don't really want to get any beyond June because it's like, will I be able to go or not? I've got festival tickets for the summer, Lord and DeJoe are coming to Clifton Downs, and I've got tickets for that. It's near my birthday, so I'm just gonna hope that I'll be able to take time off if I get it. And then it's like I'm stressing about it, but it's like it's so unlikely that I'm gonna get it because it's such a dream internship for, I'm sure, thousands and thousands of people, right? So is all this worrying is probably for nothing, but you know, that's where my head is at, people. That is where my head is at. So I'm just trying to not think about it, which is tricky because it's just like a lot of stuff is going on. But I'm trying to stay in the moment. I've just got home for a few days. It's my reading week. Taking a few days just to relax. Every time I come home, I always get ill or I get exhaustion because at uni I don't let myself rest properly, or not that, I always have so much going on all the time that I never just let myself lie in, really, ever, because I don't have the time. I don't have the time for that, which is great. I'm grateful to be busy all the time, but usually when I come home, I just let myself relax and I can feel myself relaxing. And even as I'm talking to you guys now, I feel really, really tired. And I'm like, I felt exhausted the second I got in my dad's car, when he drove me back from the train station. And the other thing that's helping me is that actually a lot of my friends are doing similar things. A lot of my home friends are going through similar things. I know lots of people who are, well, I know a couple of friends who are going to be taking a year out and moving home so that they can, whichever internship that they get, so that they take a year out and then they go back. But the difference is that most of their uni friends are doing that too. And although a lot of my housemates are on 4-year courses anyway, I still think taking a year out is such a big change. I need to stop getting my head because I don't know if it's happening. So I need to stop worrying about it. I know I do. And I feel like I'm jinxing myself by worrying about it. But either way, I've got stuff to worry about, kind of thing. Because if I don't get it, then it's like, okay, if you don't get it, then next year is your last year at uni and you need to get a wiggle on and figure out what you're going to do when you graduate. You know what I mean? So, oh my goodness. It's just, but also I'm obviously aware that these are very first world problems to have. I'm stressed. They're valid problems, but also keeping in perspective, like I'm at my dream uni and I'm living, it's very cliche and sometimes it doesn't feel like I'm living the dream, but I am. I think the thing about coming home as well is it makes me really reflective over who I was when I was last at home, because I'm coming home less and less. So like at Christmas time, I think about the headspace I was in, and now I'm coming back in spring when I've gone through January and February, which were the worst 2 months of uni last year. Last January and February was horrific for me because I got really ill. But I've come through the worst 2 months of the year, usually, and they were actually insanely good. I think they might have been my best months at uni ever, genuinely. And I've talked about this before. It's just a mindset problem that I had, and I seem to have fixed it, which is nice. But yeah, I was actually having a conversation with one of my home friends about, she messaged me after I posted on Instagram like the best bits of this term, which there have been so many, and she messaged me being like, you look like having a great time. And I was like, I actually am. Instagram's not misleading you. I actually am having a great time. And we've just been talking about what we're doing after uni and having really big girl conversations, which is crazy because I've cried to her in sixth form. You know what I mean? Like, I remember so clearly us just messing around in like common rooms, and now here we are about to turn 20. And it's like, I don't know. I always get in this state when I come home. I always get so reflective. But I can remember being at sixth form and one of my teachers telling me outright that there was no way on earth I'd get into doing film and English at Bristol Uni. And I didn't like this teacher anyway. And it was actually her saying, she told me lots of things. She told me not to do certain things. And whenever she told me not to do something, it made me so motivated to do it. So when she told me I couldn't get into Bristol, I wouldn't get good enough grades, I literally then poured my heart and soul into my revision, and I got very good grades, and I got into this course, and I'm now having the best time and literally living the dream. So I should be proud, and I forget. I doubted a lot as a younger kid whether I'd be able to make it to uni, just because I always really doubt my ability to do things, and I've always lacked confidence. I don't know, I'm getting deep suddenly. This is very random. I also been singing for 25 minutes. I didn't really think this is what I'd be doing, but it's what I'm doing. Anyway, the point is I'm home, and it's making me quite reflective over life. And yeah, I don't know. Oh, it's just very scary, isn't it? It's scary. And because in my head, I'm still 12. So when people are talking to me about like money and houses and internships and jobs and plans and dating and partners, and it's like, duh! I'm 10, guys, I'm 10. And then it's like, no, you're not. You're basically 20. And it's like, oh my God. I think I've grown quite a lot as a person since Christmas time. Dealt with some demons, maybe. Yeah, so I mean, obviously I'm growing as a person. I'm a teenager still. Just about. We'll see. And the thing is as well, is I'm going to look back at this video and being like, oh, look at her. She has no idea what's coming her way. And yeah, and that's terrifying, because I love to know what's happening. Because since I was 12, I've known what was happening, if that makes sense. I'm going to school so I can get this grade, so I can go to school to get this grade, so I can go to school to get a degree. You know what I mean? And I'm reaching the end of the obviously clearly set out stepping stones. And that's really scary, because I feel like school is so structured. And now it's like, well, and also I know I'm literally halfway through my second year. Like I've reached the halfway point of uni. That does not mean that it's over. Cut to me next year, if I'm there next year, doing my dissertation, being like, oh my God, guys, I'm sorry for yapping at you. This has literally turned into its own video, and that's not really what I intended. I obviously had a lot to say. Yeah, I'm hoping to have a lovely few days at home. We're going to see Paddington in the West End tomorrow, which will be so good. I'm happy. I feel like I'm finally doing well in all avenues of life. I kind of hate the way that sounds. I just mean that I'm swimming and I'm playing badminton with my team that I'm captain of, and I'm writing for Epigram, and I'm doing my film podcast, and I've got amazing friendships and such an incredible support system. And I've got my job, and I'm earning, and I'm saving, and I'm at uni, and I'm being, debating T.S. Eliot with, professors, and I'm doing the music thing, and now I've come home and I've got my wonderful family, and I feel really grateful. Because I also know that obviously I have a lot of those things based on luck. I know I don't deserve them any more than the next person. But also I feel like I've also had the portion that's not luck. I've got a lot of these things from choices that I've made for the first time. Like when you go to school, you make friends because you kind of have to. And now I've chosen to go to uni, and I've chosen to talk to this person, and I've chosen to go to that job interview, and I've chosen to say, hey, Ash, we should have a podcast. And, I've chosen my friends, and I've been very careful about where I'm spending my energy. Gross therapy terms, I feel. And I feel like I've made all the right decisions. So for once, I'm actually feeling pretty secure as a person. Maybe that's just growing up. Maybe it is. Maybe I'm growing up. Maybe my brain's developing. I don't know. What a terrifying thought. I don't know. Maybe if you can relate to what I'm saying a bit, that can help. I don't know if it helps anybody. But I love having like a little outlet so I can like chat to you guys. This YouTube channel is also a great place for me to keep in contact with friends. Just because I get quite vulnerable on here sometimes. I've got friends who message me who I'd never see because they're in other countries or other side of this country or whatever it is. And they're like, I love watching your YouTube channel because I can see you changing as a person. And so ever since Rachel said that, I've one of my best friends called Rachael, and I never see her because she doesn't live in England anymore. But if you're watching this, Rachael, I think about that conversation all the time. And yeah, I'm very conscious. Grateful, blessed, Sabrina's there, Operation Mincemeat's there. Like, I love that I have, because the other thing is that my wall in Bristol matures with me because I am constantly there changing it. But this room is stuck in time. Like, this room hasn't changed for a couple of years. So, like, the vinyls on the walls, you know, my friends help me pick out. And, you know, I don't know if you can see, but that Lucy Bronze poster I found on the floor when I went to the Lionesses Homecoming Parade. And I remember buying that 6 poster. And, you know, just pictures of my grandparents and, like, tickets to things. And I keep every wristband that I've ever had and stick them on there. This room's just frozen in time. And it's very nice and makes me very reflective.
Yeah. Hello, guys. Oh, and I'm looking really windswept. It is the next day. I slept in so bad. I slept for like 12 hours. I still feel really tired. It's exactly what I said yesterday about, I just think that when I get home I relax and then I just collapse. So this morning I've been doing lots of YouTube admin, as always. When am I not doing YouTube admin? And then me and my mum had to go out, but on the way back we actually got some really fun things. And I've left the tripod for this camera upstairs, so I'm gonna have to try and hold it as I show you. I went into Fat Face and I found these and I just thought they were so, I know, they were really cute, and also I don't have any like them. They're like really delicate hoops. So I got this eyeliner pencil in this purple shade. I've really loved trying out like different eyeliner colours, so I'm going to continue on that. And then we went into Waterstones because I'm desperate to get my hands on the 10th anniversary edition of Shonda Rhimes' The Year of Yes. Shonda Rhimes is like one of my heroes. Like Jennifer Lee and Shonda Rhimes are like 2 of my favourite people in the world, I think, like celebrities wise. Yeah, anyway, and Shonda Rhimes wrote the book The Year of Yes about 10 years ago, and I read it oh my god, I did read it 10 years ago. That's kind of crazy. I read it 10 years ago when I was like 10, and it was really cool. It was about like how basically she was this really successful person, but like she was still saying no to the opportunities that really scared her. And then she basically said, I'm going to say yes to everything that scares me for a year and see what happens. And her well-being, her life, her social life, and the success of her career basically took off because she started saying yes to things that scared her. And it was a very, very inspirational book, but she's re-released it with a bunch of new, this isn't sponsored obviously because I've got like 2 followers, but it's been released with a bunch of new content, but I can't find it in any local bookstores, but I'm still going in and checking every single one. So we went in to have a look, but they didn't have it at my local Waterstones. But I found this Wind in the Willows calendar for 75% off. This cost me literally £2, and it's Chris Dunn, and I love Chris Dunn. Mum sends me like loads of his Wind in the Willows illustrations all the time on like cards. Please don't worry. And they're just so cute. I love the Wind in the Willows so much. I think it would be like a dream project for me to work on. Like, look at how gorgeous these are. Although, guys, my cramps are back. Literally since coming in the door just now, I was like, oh, they're back again. I don't know what is going on. What is happening? Why am I getting really bad cramps suddenly? This is so weird. And I also wear this entire video as me being like, ugh.
But yeah, anyway, so we're going to see Paddington this afternoon, which will be really, really cool. I'm so excited. A few of our friends and family have gone and they've absolutely adored it. And I've heard really good things. And also Paddington presented one of the BAFTAs, so I'm technically one person away from like Ryan Coogler. Not to brag. You okay? Poor little girl. Yes. Yes. Yes.
And these trees on the ground. We've got rattlers up in Bristol this morning.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I hope this video was helpful in some way. Maybe, if you enjoyed it or whatever, like, subscribe, comment. I need the engagement, so... Also, guys, follow DVD Diaries and watch all their stuff because me and Ash pour our lives into it. And even if you're not a film person, we don't expect everybody to know what we're talking about all the time. But it's just to like, I feel like everyone's got an opinion on film and that's why it's kind of great. And that's why I love it. So anyway, I can literally feel my throat being sore from all this talking. I love you guys. I love my YouTube channel. I'm so glad that I made it because I waited until after I left school to make it because I've always wanted to, but I could not have withstanded the probably bullying. I was thinking about making it all the way through sixth form, and I wasn't bullied in sixth form or anything. But I think there would have been so much crap from people if I had done. So I think I made the right decision to wait until I went to uni because now I can just not talk to people who are so insecure that they need to like hail on someone for doing something that they love. So that's not that feel. I know that sounds really targeted. It's not. And no, I have not come into contact with anybody yet who would be like kind of dumb enough to think that way. So I guess there's still time. There is still time. So anyway, I love you guys so much. Stay safe. See you in the next one. Bye bye.